Now, Daffy. Never mind, we'll talk about this later. Here's the Bible app. And here is the Bible verse we're going to read to you. Romans 1, verse 24 to 32. Therefore, God gave them over in the sinful desires of their hearts to sexual purity, for the degrading of their own bodies with one another. They exchanged the truth about God for a lie, and worshiped and served created things rather than the Creator, who is praised forever. Amen. Because of this, God gave them over to shameful lusts. Even their women exchanged natural sexual relations for unnatural ones. In the same way, the men also abandoned natural relations with women and were inflamed with lust for one another. Men committed shameful acts with other men and received in themselves the due penalty for their error. Furthermore, just as they did not think it worthwhile to retain the knowledge of God, so God gave them over to a depraved mind, so that they do what ought not to be done. They have become filled with every kind of wickedness, evil, greed, and depravity. They are full of envy, murder, strife, deceit, and malice. They are gossips, slanderers, God-haters, insolent, arrogant, and boastful. They invent ways of doing evil. They disobey their parents. They have no understanding, no fidelity, no love, no mercy. Although they knew God's righteous decree that those who do such things deserve death, they not only continue to do these very things, but also approve of those who practice them. You see, the reference from the book of Romans all has to do with the homo community. Mr. Krabs is right. Asexual may be a spectrum, but it's still no excuse for pulling God's judgment. And Davy's right that people are not born lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender. It's a dangerous, selfish choice that they make. All because they just live under the pretense that they are what they are, instead of accepting who they really are. And on the contrary, the homo community isn't really a community, but a den of pagan worshippers. And how about the prophet Jeremiah?
Yeah, what about him?
Here's what he said to the people of Jerusalem. Jeremiah 7, verse 8 to 15. Behold, you trust in deceptive words to no avail. Will you steal, murder, commit adultery, swear falsely, make offerings to Baal, and go after other gods that you have not known? And then come and stand before me in this house, which is called by my name, and say we are delivered, only to go back on doing all these abominations. Has this house, which is called by my name, become a den of robbers in your eyes? Behold, I myself have seen it, declares the Lord. Go now to my place that was in Shiloh, where I made my name dwell at first, and see what I did to it because of the evil of my people Israel. And now because you are seeing all those things, declares the Lord, and when I spoke to you, persistently you did not listen, and when I called you, you did not answer. Therefore, I will do to the house that is called by my name, in which you trust, and to the place that I give to you and to your fathers, as I did to Shiloh. And I will cast you out of my sight, as I cast out all your kinsmen, all the offspring of Ephraim.
What? What are you talking about, Buds?
What does stealing, murder, committing adultery, swearing falsely, and making offerings to false gods have to do with what we're debating on today?
When Jeremiah gave them those messages, do you want to know how they responded? They said, "Don't waste your breath. We will continue to let as we see fit."
Yes, we can see that, but that doesn't answer the question. What do these 5 evils you've mentioned have to do with the new Florida law that's going to affect next month?
When the Lord first spoke to Jeremiah, the pride of the people of Jerusalem got worse and worse every passing day. Jeremiah was one of the humblest servants of the Lord, and he saw more corruption than anyone had ever seen. So the Lord chose him to be his true prophet. The Lord gave him messages to deliver to Jerusalem. These messages were not hate, they were not threats. They were warnings to the people, telling them that their pride would come back to bite them. He tried to tell them over and over and over again to stop acting prideful. But they were stubborn to listen, and becoming more blinded by their pride every passing day, they continued to live the way they saw fit selfishly and not listen to Jeremiah's warnings about what the Lord would do to them. Jeremiah was desperate to get Jerusalem to let the Lord save them from themselves, but it didn't work. They became more prideful and continued to ignore what Jeremiah was trying to tell them. And what was the consequence of not listening to those warnings? Babylon came and took them captive.
Wait a minute.
Are you telling us that if the movie and entertainment industry continues to lie the way they see fit selfishly and not listen to warnings, a brutal organization is going to appear out of nowhere and bring an apocalypse upon them?
What I'm saying is, pride is very disruptive. The practice of homosexuality is no different than committing theft, murder, adultery, lying, and worshipping pagan gods. And to give support to homos is no different than giving tribute to pagan gods. The new law DeSantis signed, stating that Walt Disney World will operate under government supervision, this is not one I intend to go against. It's not to be discussed further in future meetings or protesting gatherings. The movie and entertainment industry, including Disney, need to wash up their act and reform, just like Donald said.
Bugs Bunny is right. Everything the Walt Disney Company is doing right now is going to send our fans back to the world they were living in before they were introduced to Walt's magical world. Because with liberalism increasing and video hosting sites such as TikTok causing more trouble, we need new rules.
Mickey Mouse is right about my Bugs being right. Walt's magical world is on the brink of vanishing like a dream in our subconscious when we wake up. They've lost their sense of imagination and creativity. If we can't accept restrictions, prohibitions, or any forbiddance necessary, then we are no better than weak-willed, good-for-nothing parents who spoil their children without disciplining them.
Daffy, if someone or something wounds you deeply, you don't show hatred towards them or hold a grudge against them.
What made you think we're holding a grudge against something or someone?
And what made you think we'd show hatred too?
We are, if we don't give the movie and entertainment industry a chance to stand in front of the world and say, we're sorry, it was wrong for what we did, and we're not going to do it again. This new law is only going to increase tensions.
That is reckless and arrogant of what you are saying. This is Ron DeSantis, and the government of Florida we are talking about is not Disney. It's not Universal. It's not Warner Bros. It's not Hasbro or Nintendo or Nickelodeon.
No, but it's people with agendas, and agendas change.
That's good.
Are you playing the Force My Difference game on us?
No, I mean, look here. Luigi and I starred in the biggest box office hit. What does your movie have to do with what we're discussing? Our movie reached nearly $1.3 billion. That's more than enough money for me and my brother to create and launch. Yeah, I think that's pretty similar. Okay, to launch a new Mario Bros. Game series.
And if parents and teachers found out that the new game Nintendo put together placed hello characters in it, do you know what would happen? We would get complaints from them.
And we would know that we upset the people, and we would announce to the world we would remove those homo characters and vow to never put them in future releases of that game ever again. But Mario, you would choose to do that. No one is forcing you. You and the cast from Super Mario Bros. Would make the decision yourselves.
That's not the point. Families may love us because we're famous, lovable characters who give inspiration. But like parents and school teachers, we have a responsibility to make sure that children grow up with clean souls and free minds that are genuine and not corrupt.
We also want to make sure that children grow with minds and children have the genuine freedom that doesn't make them silly.
Oh, so you're taking side with Mr. Stuffed Crust Rat?
My name is Chuck E. Cheese, and I'm not a rat.
I don't care what your name is.
Please get a grip on yourselves. We have had a very restless era since COVID-19 struck the world. Let's try and treat each other with kindness.
Of course.
My apologies, please forgive me.
Clearly, most of us are in agreement with this new law. But Timon has got something more he would like to say.
Actually, it's Pumbaa who is so in contempt of not coming. He's the one who is not taking any chances in sharing his opinion. He believes that everything DeSantis and the government of Florida is doing isn't in the people's best interest.
He's keeping the state of Florida free of things and practices that are not appropriate for families and children.
Besides, using TikTok isn't going to take away people's problems, it's only making them worse.
Look, I get it. But what if this new law makes industries do things they don't believe they feel interested in doing or should do? What if there is something that they would want to let in, and the government of Florida doesn't let them, or gives them permission to do so? Look, the world is not perfect, I'll admit, but giving love and support is always the best option.
But just because you think this new law is unfair, you can't just ignore it. You don't have to like it or agree with it, but that's what DeSantis and the government of Florida prove.
Maybe you guys are right.
What? I thought you were on my side.
I'm sorry, Timon. But I'm getting the feeling that they are absolutely right. I mean, look. The world is out of control, and I think DeSantis and the government of Florida are doing the right thing. There are too many bad choices being made recently these days.
There are always a lot of bad choices being made, and the only reason that people ignore that fact is that they are just trying to keep their eyes away from the crisis and keep their minds free of politics.
That is dangerously arrogant again, Timon.
Wait a second. You've been taking their sides.
And I'm sorry too. But Bob Iger and Disney should have bought 20th Century.
Not buying it saved me from going under.
It's no excuse for corrupting the Walt Disney Company even further. 20th Century should have taken Comcast's bid. Then Disney fans wouldn't have to deal with all the inappropriate stuff that was let in.
Bugs, Manny, and Daffy at once. The Disney window for decades would never have went out so many times. And that was for the show for the next we were kids, because that many said, when everyone is in prison and then your hosing shots that the stick down us in more trouble, we need new rules.
Wait, are you saying that we should rely on brutal measures?
What I'm saying is, as of today, they're not getting through without getting through, which means the movies are making today are running out Fox. Also insane. These are Fox and destroying the memories of the golden days. Governments are fans on destroying it. They are destroying themselves. Their bad choices are not their fans of Fox. We need to run away when they're back.
You still have them?
Not the way we used to run in the golden days. Those are not the windows we're sitting in.
But they are just movies.
They're a lot more than that.
Enough! Enough! Donald is absolutely right. I like a sense of wanting things to get back on track.
Good, Manny.
Well said, Donald. Can we go ahead and put this to a vote?
All right. All in favor of agreeing with Walt Disney World to operate under government supervision, please raise your hand. All right, that's 21 out of 23. All opposed to it, raise your hand. Okay, that's 1 out of 23.
What made you change your mind? I give up. I don't think this is going to turn out well, but I trust DeSantis and the government of Florida. I just hope they know what they're doing.
The side in favor wins. Case closed. This debate is now adjourned.
For the reception, we've got cake and fruit punch in the cafeteria waiting for you.
You just had to take their sides, didn't you?
I wasn't taking sides. But they are right. The movie and entertainment industry needs to wash up their act and reform.
Why can't fans and governments just be grateful?
Because... Never mind. We'll talk about this when we get home.
Well, it was good to see you, Mickey.
Good to see you too, Chuck.
Yeah, Chuck. Glad you could join us.
Hey, Chuck. I apologize for my friend calling you Mr. Stuffed Rat. Next time we meet again at another character debate, you'll make sure he's on his best behavior.
Thank you.
Hey, Chuck. Following Brother around with the windows of photograph. Will that get over for dinner on May's time to join us?
Oh, yes, Donald. Thank you. Thank you for piquing your mind, Chuck. I was Buff and I could go with you, but we already have other plans. Now, if you'll excuse me, Buff and I have a birthday party to attend, and we don't want to keep the birthday girl waiting. Bye, Mickey. It was good to see you.
You too, Bobs. Have a great time at the party, and look forward to seeing you again soon. Bye.